A warm welcome to you here on News Hour, this hour on TV Sapiencia. The top stories today. The federal government has forecasted heavy rainfall over a 5-day period that may trigger flooding across 19 states and 76 locations. Japan today, Wednesday, marked 80 years since the atomic bombing of Hiroshima, with survivors expressing frustration over the world's growing nuclear peril and advocating for an end to atomic weapons. And in sports, the camp of the Nigerian senior men's national team, the Tigers, is expected to witness the arrivals of more players from the provisional roster as preparations for the 2025 FIBA Afro-Basket continue. My name is Chioma Vickwemeka. Welcome. Now the news in full. The federal government has forecasted heavy rainfall over a 5-day period that may trigger flooding across 19 states and 76 locations. The warning issued on Tuesday yesterday by the National Flood Early Warning Systems, that's the center of the Federal Ministry of Environment, called on stakeholders and residents to take urgent precautionary measures. This comes as devastating floods struck Ogun and Gombe State on Tuesday, with other states including Lagos, Plateau, Anambra and Delta also affected by the disaster. According to the center's flood prediction, the affected areas are expected to experience rainfall likely to cause flooding from August 5 to August 9, 2025. The predicted states and locations at Akwa Ibom, Edo, Eket, Ikon, that's Oron, Upenekang, in Bauchi, Tafawa Balewa, Azare, Jamare, Kari, Miso, Jama. Then in Ebonyi, Abakaliki, Echara, Ezilo, in Cross River, Ogoja, Edo, Obubra, then Nasarawa, Kena, Kefi, Wamba, in Benue State, Agaku, Buruku, Boko, Igumale, Ito, Kastina Ala, Oba, Vande Ikia, then Kaduna, Jaji, Kafanchan, Birnin Gwari, Zaria and Kastina, Bindawa, Bakuri, Daura, Funtua. Others are in Kebi, Bagudu, Birnin Kebi, Bunza, Gwandu, Jiga, Kalgo, Kamba, Kanigwa, Shanga, Riba, Sakaba, Saminaka, Yelwa, Gari, Banza, then Kano, Bebeji, Gezawa, Gwazo, Kano, Karaye, Tundungwada, Wudil, Kunchi. Then in Niger State, Katongora, Rijal, Ringim, in Plateau, Mangu, in Taraba, Donga, Takum, in Jigawa, Diginsa, Gumel, Dutse, Gwaram, Hadejia, Miga, and Yobe, Machina, Potiskum, Zamfara, Anka, in Sokoto, Wamako, and finally from Borno, Biu, and Gombe, Bajuga. Flooding in Nigeria has become a yearly occurrence that claims lives and destroys many properties. Last year, recall 31 states were reportedly affected by flooding, causing hundreds of deaths, injuring thousands of others, and affecting 1.2 million. Away from flooding, we move to politics in Anambra State. With the November 8, 2025 governorship election drawing near, the Anambra State Signage and Advertisement Agency has intensified its crackdown on political parties yet to comply with the mandatory 50 million naira campaign permit fee. The fee imposed by ANSA grants political parties the right to erect billboards, posters, brand vehicles, hoist banners, and engage in other outdoor campaign activities across the state. Addressing journalists on Tuesday at the agency's headquarters in Awka, ANSA Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer Tony Ujubono revealed that only 5 out of the 16 registered political parties participating in the election have complied with the fee. Ujubono emphasized the need for a level playing field where only law-abiding parties are recognized as credible contenders in the forthcoming election. We will take a break right now. When we return, we move to the health sector. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention on Tuesday said Nigeria has recorded 155 deaths from Lassa fever from January 1 to July 20, 2025. These and other stories will come your way after this timeout. Do stay with us. Welcome back to the news. Glad to have you here with us. In health, the Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention on Tuesday yesterday said Nigeria has recorded 1 155 deaths from Lassa fever from January 1 to July 2025. The case fatality rate now stands at 18.9%, higher than the 17.1% recorded during the same period in 2024. As of epidemiological week 29, Nigeria has reported a total of 6,640 suspected cases and 822 confirmed cases across 21 states and 105 local government areas. According to the World Health Organization, Lassa fever is an acute viral illness caused by the Lassa virus. It is known to be endemic in Benin, Ghana, Guinea, Liberia, Mali, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone, but probably exist in other West African countries. The Global Health Body said the Lassa fever is primarily transmitted to humans via contact with food or household items contaminated with rodent urine or feces, and person-to-person transmission can also occur, particularly in healthcare settings lacking adequate infection prevention and control measures. The NCDC also noted that the number of new confirmed cases in week 29 remained the same as in week 27, with fresh infections reported in Ondo and Edo states. Away from that, we move away from Nigeria to Japan right now. Today, Wednesday, marked 80 years since the atomic bombing of Hiroshima, with survivors expressing frustrations over the world's growing nuclear peril and advocating for an end to atomic weapons. At approximately 8:15 a.m., that's 23:15 GMT, the U.S. aircraft Enola Gray dropped Little Boy over the western Japanese city on August 6, 1945, resulting in the deaths of at least 140,000 people. On the Remembrance Day of the horrific incident, many aging survivors have expressed frustration about growing support among global leaders for nuclear weapons possession for deterrence. Japanese grassroots organization of survivors that won the Nobel Peace Prize last year for its pursuit of nuclear abolition, Nihon Hidankyo, said in a statement, and I quote, "We don't have much time left while we face a greater nuclear threat than ever," end of quote. The organization stated that the toughest part of the push for a nuclear-free world is breaking through the indifference of the countries that possess the bombs. 3 days after Hiroshima, on August 9, the U.S. dropped a second bomb on Nagasaki, killing an estimated 70,000 people. Japan then surrendered on August 15, ending World War II and bringing to a close nearly half a century of its military expansion in Asia. According to international news AP, representatives from a record 120 countries and regions, including Russia and Belarus, were expected to attend and observe a minute silence with the sound of a peace bell at 8:15 a.m., the time when a US B-29 dropped the bomb on the city. Away from that story of remembrance, we move to sports. The camp of the Nigerian senior men's national team, D Tigers, are expected to witness the arrivals of more players from the provisional roster as preparations for the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket continue. The Nigeria Basketball Federation had earlier released a preliminary roster comprising 12 players, and they completed the list, with camping now having commenced officially earlier this week in Abuja. Just 9 players from the provisional list have arrived. Amongst the early arrivals are Stan Okoye, Talib Zana, Mike Nuga, Christian Meko Wulu, Divine Eke, Kodirichi Akobondo Ehiogo, Martins Ibanu, and Andrew Ugo Simon. However, more members of the team are expected to hit the camp as the team tries to build cohesion and chemistry before their first game of the tournament, which is expected to hold on August 13. Well, that's it on the news. A quick reminder of our top stories. We told you that the federal government has forecasted heavy rainfall over a 5-day period that may trigger flooding across 19 states and 76 locations in Nigeria. Japan today, Wednesday, marked 80 years since the atomic bombing of Hiroshima, with survivors expressing frustrations over the world's growing nuclear peril and advocating for an end to atomic weapons. The camp of the Nigerian senior men's national team, D Tigers, are expected to witness the arrivals of more players from the provisional roster as preparations for the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket continues. Well, that's it on news this afternoon. Many thanks for joining us here on News Hour on TV Sapienza. My name is Chioma Victor. Thanks for watching and do have an amazing midweek ahead of you. Stay with us.